It looks like at this point, between the three schools that have been linked to PJ Haggerty, NC State, Ole Miss, and Memphis, that ultimately, in the end, Memphis's $3 million offer is the highest guaranteed offer he would have received. And you're with the opportunities for more with, like you were talking about, with outside entities, right? Like companies coming in, and there were plenty of those that were ready in Memphis to like come on board with him. Which is, to me, is a sad mismanagement of the NCAA position, like the portion of his offseason, right? Like, he left Memphis to go get a bigger payday, and it looks like more than likely his former school, the one that's now rescinded their offer to him, would have ultimately been the one that would have been the most guaranteed money to him, which
just like Tennessee and Nico.
Just like Tennessee and Nico, right? My biggest fear, honestly, Christian, moving forward, is that I feel like this is becoming a David Jones situation all over again. And another person that I would say is kind of becoming like is a Lester Quinones type of situation. When Lester left early, Lester could have come back and played his senior year at Memphis, and he entered the draft. I did a few interviews with Lester during that time period after he made his decision to stay in the draft. He told me the reason why he stayed in the draft is because he was guaranteed a draft pick. Like, we will pick you at this. If you're there, we're going to pick you.
I don't know why guys still fall for that.
And guess what? They did not.
Mm-mm.
And now Lester is now making $500,000 a year playing in the NBA G League, which is $500,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
No,
but from what I can gather in terms of the PJ Haggerty situation, alongside as well as the David Jones situation, is that there was a level of manipulation, I think, done by agents that are NBA agents that are licensed. And we talk about the licensing of NIL agents and the people that are, in that role and how that needs to work. There seems to be some real sneaky stuff happening on the NBA side of it as well with the agents that are involved, because these agents are now coming to these players, and this happened to Lester, it happened to David, and I'm afraid that it's going to happen to PJ, because PJ is now in the draft. He got invited to the combine. He'll be at the combine this year, and he's now working out specifically for teams. And and you can't hate on the kid for this, but his dream is to play in the NBA. Right. And if given the option, he would play in the NBA next year instead of playing in college basketball.
Yeah.
Which obviously, right? Like, obviously he would do that. I'm afraid that what's going to happen is that there's going to be some level of conversation on the NBA side of things where he's promised a spot, promised a pick, and it won't come to fruition. And then he'll be languishing in the G League for a couple of years instead of being able to come back, play another year of NCAA basketball, making multi-millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of. Because if from all the reporting, all the things that I've heard, PJ is 1,000% solely focused on the NBA right now, and thinks that he's just waiting for that guarantee.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about the agents. Agents can be slimy regardless of if they're licensed, unlicensed, or whatever else. And I don't know how this would work necessarily. Like, say that you did get an agent in college, would it carry over to the NBA? Would it not? I don't know, just because we haven't seen it yet. I mean, you would imagine somebody would probably keep the agent throughout, but is it too specialized to be a college jump to the NBA? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks there. But I would like to think that if you have legit agency at the collegiate level, then that comes into play, because you can't really be manipulated as much by an NBA agent. If you have an agent that knows, hey, look, you're probably not going to be drafted. This is what you'll make if you're not drafted, or if you're a late second round pick. This is what you'll make if you stay in college.
Right.
And I think that could help that situation. Obviously, that's so up in the air and undecided.
Yeah.
At this point, that who knows, but I think that could alleviate that.